ahead and hit the button too. All right. So since we are a player down tonight, things are gonna be a bit different, and it's gonna be a lot more kind of off the wall and very unplanned. Um, so I have some stuff that I have just a couple of like intro stuff that I had already planned to have for the session, basically. And then we're gonna kind of go into like more freeballing it. So, and if we play for a little while, we play for a little while. We play for a long time, play for a long time. It's all good. Just keeping it loosey goosey over here. Doesn't stress me out at all. Doesn't sound like me. All right, so welcome to Riffrunners session 1.5. The interludes or something. I don't know. I'll come up with a better name probably eventually here for this. So going into it's kind of awkward way to transition here, but I'm gonna start off as if this is a regular session though. At the beginning of each session, kind of to preface this a little bit, in each session, we're going to be doing, some recap stuff, right? Like we always used to do, right? Previously on and all that stuff. But I'm also going to be doing it a bit differently. And I'm going to be doing it in the form of both little, NPC, vignette stories, that are in the world, some of which you will meet, some of which you won't, but they are adjacent to what's happening or, in reaction to what you've been doing basically last session, as well as any headlining stuff as well that has caused a stir. So also, Pop, I don't think we're going to do your recap today.
Right, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Right?
Plus, I think they might need it more next time. So,
yeah.
But in the future, Pop's going to do a Bungie recap as the character who is the hopeful novelist, of the group. So he'll be the one sharing his insights. Yeah. So it'd be from his perspective and stuff like that. So
yeah. So Trevor told me to do it from Bungie's perspective. So that's what you're gonna get. So if Bungie wasn't there, then it's not going to be there.
Or it'll be really abstract and I heard about that. I don't know.
That's right.
Here's some possibly unfactual statements about it. Yeah. So it's a good reason to not put the party, I guess. Otherwise, you won't be part of the recap.
Or just make sure you tell Bungie what you did.
Yeah, keep your party members informed. Otherwise, you won't remember what happened last time.
Yeah, good luck getting Ferris to not tell Bungie about her entire day.
That's true. That's true. All right, so a newspaper with moving images, much like the Harry Potter one, on it spins into view with tantalizing headlines spread across it. The first one reads, "Troll in the dungeon. New manager of manufacturing in the desolate dungeon Soulforge speaks about his lineage as a troll Zolian and how it shapes his work ethic. His predecessor's major lapse in security opened up a new spot for Gnarl Marx's meteoric rise to leadership." Story continues on page 6. Inmates evacuated. Lamplighter Prisoner Rehabilitation Center number 4 recently had to evacuate and transfer some of its inmates to another facility due to an unexpected spill of ooze in the area. Chief Security Officer Benzo states that it was done for the safety of the inmates and that both he and the whole facility takes great pride in the safety and best treatment for its recovering citizens and assures this publication the inmates will be taken care of. Read more about how our prison system is a great benefit to society and definitely not a modern for-profit slavery franchise on page 12. You're in Lux. Zol Darling Family House Lux will be putting on the show of the decade later this week, and you won't want to miss it. In a rare showcase event, a concert will be performed as part of the ceremonial send-off of the musical score of Ygritte. Ygritte, it's with a Y. My bad. Ygritte, now that their trade agreement has failed to meet the standards of Lux. You'll want to get your VIP tickets as soon as possible to join the auction, but for the dregs, bring a folding chair since seating is limited. All Alrighty. So, since we are a player down, as I mentioned, we're going to be leaving our encounter as it is, just freeze frame basically, like it's the 80s, and dipping a bit outside of the normal flow of space-time, and doing something, well, more than last campaigns, I should say, because that was a different kind of outside of space-time.
That was in the real world space-time.
yes, for sure. And we're going to be coming back to that. We left off basically last time, next time here. So we're jumping ahead into a new scene category because Sentinel Comics uses scenes to label things. And it's called Downtime, which is what it sounds like, honestly, where, some options for, downtime segments include like, bonding, sightseeing, information gathering, planning, shopping, skill learning, or job hunting, but you can basically kind of do, whatever it is you want. This is a fully player run segment without much guidance, honestly. I have some things that I can drop in, but for the most part, you're in charge here, more than usual, at least. And in terms of where and when this begins, this takes place sometime after you have hopefully escaped from the House Lorrington estate. We're going to assume that at one point you don't just all end up in prison forever, and you get either out of prison or you just have a wonderful escape. And you have been left to your own devices with Cal pulling Eloise away for a special mission. As for where you are at least beginning in the Blue Light Crags, which is a business, food, and entertainment district of Crypt Market that is a bit more upscale and safe than the rest of town, despite being beset by a series of deep fissures in the ground going down seemingly, I can't say that word, seemingly, there we go, seemingly, nope, endlessly into a bottomless pit, basically. Yet they are emitting an eerie blue glow with mist pouring out of it that form into these ethereal rivers that small little boats are able to actually float on top of the normal Scarab tramway system that traverses the rocky ground, sometimes kind of twisting and turning a bit sideways because of the weird formation of this area. As well as the large number of ensouled that make their way through the district, which are, to mind you, is just people, basically. You have Karami anima of all sort that are roaming the street, often unattached to a master, but not posing any particular danger. So just giving you that quick little intro for where you're starting out. You can go anywhere you want on the Shard. You have two main, segments there, Twilight Harbors and the, I'll say north, and then you have Crypt Market in the south, and then different little districts and whatnot in between, filling in those segments there. But you're now kind of free to cause as much distress to your DM as you wish. So,
Okay, so can you say the blue light thing again? What was that?
Yes,
What was
you're
that called?
in Blue Light Crags.
Crags?
Crags? I don't know how to pronounce
Crags.
it. It's Crags.
Craig.
There's no I. It's not. Craig did not make these Crags.
Crags.
They're not Crags. Crags.
They're not Craig's Crags. Oh, that's a really good name, actually.
Crags.
That's definitely going to be a bar or restaurant around here for sure. So,
Right.
Okay, I'm happy.
whatever the first establishment is that you go to will be called Craig's.
And there's these blue somethings coming up from underneath.
There's these giant
like
fissures
that.
in the ground that are pretty wide, honestly, and there's just like this ominous like blue light shining out from them. And they go down like basically into like the center of the Shard. They're that far down, and there's like this kind of like oozing some mist and smoke kind of thing, kind of more like spiritual, ethereal feeling that kind of forms into like these little like riverways almost, and then some like light boats, not like heavy things, like I would say like almost like a Venice kind of situation where you have like these kind of stream kind of systems, where people are traversing that way on top of like, the main, walking and occasionally flying, and you have the tramway system. So
Okay, so this
yeah.
is something that's been there for a while. It's not
Yes,
like
yes.
this emergency thing that just happened
No,
or
no,
something
no,
like
no.
that.
Yes.
Okay.
No one seems distressed more than usual, at least. Yeah. It's crypt market, so I mean, there's always some distress, but yes.
And why are we there?
You're just kind of out on your own and kind of just,
Okay.
seeing the
Strolling?
town, just strolling, basically. That's up to you at this point. You were doing something else, undisclosed, and now you're not.
Okay.
So this would be a fair assessment to say it's kind of like our last hurrah before we sail off into the great unknown kind of idea.
Probably somewhere around that point. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, you don't have a ship or anything yet, but yes, you have you've established a group now, right? And you have a little bit of a home base somewhere that you will not be heading back to right now. That we'll get into eventually. But yes, you're kind of out on the town right now.
Okay.
And oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Is there? You mentioned there were fissures.
It's hard, isn't it?
Seemingly-
Talking so hard.
Yeah, you mentioned there was holes in the ground.
Holes. Digging up damn hole, dig it. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Shia LaBeouf, continue.
What's the most dangerous thing to do in this area? Is
What-
it perhaps bungee jump down into these holes
Okay,
Well,
so
that's what I was wondering too.
of the
So-
shard?
And what was Sarah gonna say?
Before you answer that, just for flavor, if nothing else, are we actively wanted?
yes.
Oh.
That's a great question.
I would say you're mildly actively wanted. You're not. No one didn't necessarily not like everybody knows your faces or anything. You probably haven't warranted a wanted poster yet. It hasn't been enough time, probably.
Okay.
It's more of just like, yeah, like the cops know like what you did probably at some point, but like, yeah, it's not like, oh,
if
it's
we
not.
were to
Yeah.
do something insane, though, it would.
If you're to draw attention to
potentially-
yourselves, it may cause a
got it.
problem for
So,
you. Yes.
okay, so wait, so the Blue Light Crags is in the Crypt Market area or
Yes.
the
Yes.
Twilight Harbor? Okay, okay, so isn't like a whole bunch of criminals around here anyway? So not a big deal.
It's very true. You're not
Okay.
wrong. And however, the Graveyard Gamble does and the Jack does have a working relationship with the cops, basically. Right? With not as much the EVs, right, but the lamplighters for sure. There appears to be some sort of working relationship there where like the lamplighters aren't gonna really come down and like, collect you for the most part unless you're like a really big problem, and like it's kind of like a extradition treaty a little bit, right? Like in that regard. Whereas, however, the EVs are like more of like the Galactic Police, and there's not too many of them around in this area, but they will cross both sides of the fence here. So, and to answer your question, Eric, about dangerous things. So, bungee jumping is kind of a thing around here, but not as much as what especially the teenagers end up doing a lot of is they take what are their I think it's called they're called dusters, which are it's kind of what you kind of call either any kind of form of like car or skateboard or scooter. It's just things that are like small things that are powered by dust, basically, right? But they have like these little tiny like hoverboard dusters, basically, that they will go as far down the crag as they dare and then come back up. Because it does kind of like have a weird current to it that no one understands why that is. Like the mist kind of has like different like internal currents that kind of pull different directions. So you kind of like ride a current down and then try and find one like an updraft before you get sucked all the way down to the bottom.
So are there any duster rental areas?
That's rentals. Let's see. Yeah, I would say so. That'd be Craig's.
There you go.
There you go. And they also sell tacos. It's not Tuesday though, unfortunately, so they're full price. I know. There are rentals for very talented dusters. They have a big sign that say that they are not for going into the Craigs, but also, yeah, look at the name of the business.
Is there a discount Craig's that sells somewhat more dangerous bootleg versions of these boards?
Oh my goodness.
You want even more dangerous. I mean, then you definitely just want, it's just called Earl. It's over there. It's just like, it just says the name Earl, and it just has like the L is like sideways and crooked, like hanging off and kind of like spinning in the breeze. It's just kind of like just like an outhouse looking thing that has like a bunch of junk piled on it. and he has a couple of like dusters up front. You're going there? All right.
That's where I would go for it. But if the two others stop me, I would be open to talking about going to the less deadly one. But you know.
I mean, Ferris has no frame of reference for any of this. She's just so crazy, out and about, and all these new friends, and it's just been such an exciting day. Yeah, she'd be delighted to be escorted to wherever these two fine gentlemen would care to take her.
See, I'm on a date, apparently.
So, Bungie is like, well, what I'm looking for is the fastest one. One that works. I don't care if it's not. I don't care if it's dangerous or safe or whatever. But I want something that's really fast.
Okay.
So, which one's faster? Do they have like
They have
a rating on them or something?
Ratings.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the official blue light rating.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the blue light special. So yeah, they do rate them. It's not like an official rating. It's more of like how, like, usually what happens is like one type will be made and then it'll get tested, and then like if they make it back up, then it gets a rating. If it doesn't make it back up, it kind of just has a question mark next to it, because like they're like, we don't know how good it is. So there's I don't think they have like question marks next to like their rating scale, but they do go from 1 to 10, although 10 being the highest in terms of speed. However, the ones that are like 10 seem to be either like extremely like rickety looking, and it's just like a giant rocket basically on top of like a skateboard, or they're very expensive, and they're like very, very fancy looking, and they have like a whole, like they have like a seat, and they have like different pedals and like all this like different like gear shifts and all that stuff to like do all sorts of fancy stuff. So and that's over at Craig's. So Craig's, whatever. And then you have Earl that just has a big question mark in the middle of the entire place. It's like, all right, you get what you get. So you can go with Earl and you have no idea what you're getting. It could be the fastest thing in the world for all you know, or you could go with a more dedicated scale. And there.
Dude. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Only other question. At one point, the fine captain, his bird had kind of moved over.
Yeah, I can say that you have Quark if you want. Oh, his name is Quark, by the way. Yes, that is his name. Quark.
Yeah, I'd love it if Quark was there with me.
Yeah, yeah, he is muzzled still. Heads up, okay. So he cannot speak to you, or sing.
No worries. Honestly, Ferris probably doesn't really know. She's just like so delighted because it's another person there for her to just be like, isn't this just the most fabulous thing you've ever seen? Oh, yes, I knew you'd love it.
It's giving you very much a piratey look, despite the rest of everything else happening. Having like basically a parrot on your shoulder.
Yeah. Big parrot, everything else, and it. Just
yes. You're a very cozy pirate, yes.
Extremely.
I think Bungie wants to go up to the proprietor or whatever of the Craig's because he's looking at the number 10 thing and goes up to him and just say, hey, what's the so this rating of 10, can I rent this one?
Sure can. Can rent any kind you want. They go as fast as you like, all the way up from 1 to 10.
Can you show me how it works?
Sure thing. You just push this button right here and you hold on for dear life. No, I'm just kidding. There's more to it than that.
I push the button, see what happens. You mean like this?
Well, that one's busted now. All right. So the next one, the number 9. All right, the number 9 is all we got. It's the highest it goes now. I gotta fix that one because it just ran into a wall. I was kidding, by the way. So there are quite a few settings to this. It's a little bit complicated to operate, but I'm sure someone of your knowledge could probably figure this out. But and he kind of goes through and he kind of walks you through all the different different settings of how it operates and whatnot. There's like different speed settings. It's got gear shifts, and it has like different ways to shape the air and whatnot. It has like little flaps and stuff like that. So it's like a legit like flying rig basically. It seems fairly safe, except you don't know how to use it. So there's that. And
fantastic! I want this one.
It's also more of like a motorcycle look, basically. I would say it's like if you took like a motorcycle and you kind of like stretch it out into like almost like a fine tip at both ends. Yeah, at a point on the front and the back, and it's like it's like a diamond. You kind of like stretch all the way out, basically, right? With the seat in the middle, and it has like wings that pop out like on the sides. They kind of like turn and like twist. So, yeah. Sure, and you can go ahead and rent that, not for a huge amount. You do have to pay full price if you crash and break it, though.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so you have to buy it. If you break it, you buy it. So there is that.
Break it, you buy it.
Break it, you buy it. Are you looking to try and join a race, or just go by yourself and just kind of do a delve?
I just wanted to take it around the area and just check it out.
Okay, no problem. Locke, what kind are you going for?
I'd like to go for one that looks beat to hell and maybe has a little sidecar in case.
You want to bring Ferris with you?
Yeah, in case Ferris wants to come for a romantic, death-defying. I'd also like to look for like a fire extinguisher equivalent to maybe get it to go even faster.
Oh.
And other janky things like that maybe he also has, like not combined to it, but just like, I don't know, maybe he's selling a fire extinguisher like a fan or something.
All right, so you go over to Crazy Earl's, yeah, he's like, "Hey, you want some of this shit? I got so much shit. It's so janky, it's so beautiful, and it's a little bit rusty here and there, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. It'll just comes right off. No big deal. Get a little bit of lighter fluid on there, and there you go. Look at that, burned it right off for you. Good as new. So yeah, you wanted to have maybe like, you put this thing with this thing. You put this in. Get on there. Okay. Yeah, perfect. And it'll stay on there the whole time, guaranteed. 100% guarantee, or your money back, or you're dead. I don't know which one happens first.
Are you from Sugar Plum 9 by any chance? I feel like I really recognize this mentality.
I don't know what that is. Sounds delicious, though.
It is fantastic. And
they come in a dozen?
Not exactly. I really appreciate your can-do attitude.
Yeah. All about that bulk purchasing, So
Yeah,
Locke just smiles and grins at this man. This man may be his favorite new person. And he's not entirely sure how to even play this, having never met a man exactly like this.
Tell you what, do you want 17 cup holders to go with that? I got 17 cup holders ready to go. If it's the big slurpy kinds, the big gulps, they fit them real good on there. Yep, and they even warm them up for you. That's what you want. It's a hot, bubbling, giant thing of liquid next to you, just between the legs.
Do you mind if I give this one a little polish? I just have the most darling idea. Hold on. And the one that he's trying to like sell Locke on, Ferris is going to start decorating it.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got like glitter paints. So it's kind of like in between two holidays in her world. So it's a very weird mishmash of this very wintry themed things, but also you're starting to see like it shade into like a lot of pinks and reds, and it's very abstract, but it's gorgeous by the time it's done.
Fantastic.
It's very glittery.
Yeah, you bedazzled the shit out of it.
Absolutely.
And like Earl's eyes get like really big, and they like even like glitter a little bit. He's like, it's so shiny, shiny.
Hey, this is what you get to do. This is what a can-do attitude will get you in. I really think you'd understand my homework.
I need you to do all of my marketing for all of my items. Honestly,
Oh, I'd be delighted.
put your face on this big sign and big billboard. Earl and I'm sorry, what's your name again?
Ferris.
Earl and Ferris together forever. I mean, what? No.
You see,
Uh-oh.
so I don't think I bet. Ferris's eyes are like a bright gold color
Okay.
for the most part, and you start to actually see like a little bit of light almost radiate off of them.
Oh.
The coming holiday in her world would be like the love festival, which is like the equivalent of Valentine's Day for us, but is predominantly when her species finds their temporary soulmate. So she hears "Together Forever." How tall is this gentleman?
4 foot tall.
Beautiful. And
He's 97 years old and 4 feet tall.
and she's gone. She's off in her head. She is already writing out their wedding vows.
Fantastic. Love it. So he's slapping some stuff together. He's kind of showing you some different parts log to see if you want to add it to your
I definitely
your
want to
doohickey.
make some sort of weird behemoth thing here. I don't know about the 17 cups, 17 cup holders.
Yes. All right. I need you to give me an overcome for helping him build this thing in a safe fashion. So whatever you
I
think
have
you
a
can do.
metal power. Can I use that?
Absolutely. Yeah, that checks out.
Okay.
But you don't need to control metal. You
And,
can just know about metal and how to like solder
okay.
and like weld and stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, because my thing is like the suit that I have is like metallic sand, so I have it called like tailoring, but it works for any sort of metal thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I guess I think I have something like creativity or something like that.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
see.
I've got creativity. I also have precognition.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a very
I don't know.
interesting thing to
I
be
don't-
able to use.
Okay.
I don't know if we.
man.
I don't know if we like have this stuff yet.
I would say you can use it
Like,
as part of an overcome, but you can't use it as a full-on precog like vision
it might
thing
be
right
there,
now.
but we don't know it's there yet.
It's more of a feeling, I feel like. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the very tendrils are just so like she's not actively I don't know what the
Precogging?
Precognitive.
no. I
Preclogging.
don't think right. I'm like
Pre-
halfway into that word. I'm like, I don't think there's a form of that. How I'm about to try to use it.
Yeah.
I don't think she's like actively activating the power, but I think she might get just for half a second a flash if Locke was about to touch something that is 100% going to blow this building to kingdom come.
Okay. So,
in
Locke,
that
if you get a
circumstance,
really
and
shitty
only
roll,
that
you can re-roll one of your dice. How's that?
Okay, great. I just need my internet to not work for this.
You can use your dice, man.
Whether my dice is the problem, but
Oh, I meant regular like
because I
dice.
don't have the sheet. Well, that's what I mean, but I don't know what the sheet it says.
Oh, you don't have the. Okay.
I haven't memorized my character sheet, unfortunately.
Oh, I made a copy of mine
Hold
because
on.
I don't trust. The
I can
internet.
pull it up for you. Or actually, everybody can.
That would have been
Pretty sure.
smart. I
Pop,
should
can you pull up
done
his sheet?
that.
I think they're all visible, aren't they?
I'm also just going to say,
Yeah.
we normally get like an ability
I got it.
we come up with, right?
Yes, it's part of the build. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I've
Yeah.
forgotten that on mine.
I think
Oh,
it's
really?
a quality,
It's a quality, yeah,
Yeah,
not
it's a
power.
quality. Right,
ability.
it's a quality,
Yeah.
right.
but
I haven't added that.
Okay, so
one.
what do you want to know,
Do that
Locke? I've
later.
got your character sheet up.
so I want to know: do I have something called creativity or anything like that, or what do I have?
You have
for my...
You have a D10 creativity.
Okay, so I got a D10. I think I got a D6 for
For metal?
my status, and then
Oh, for status.
I got a.
And your tailoring is a D10.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll 2 D10s. That's not
And
a
a D-
D10.
and a D6.
That's a D8. Okay.
Oh, I need to pull up my thing.
I was just gonna say, if
Right,
Bungie's
right.
with him, Bungie has technology, so. he could
Yeah,
help
I
if
don't know
needed-
how to do like
if
group
needed.
overcomes. I'll be honest. Like, that's not something that like they really
Mhm.
like
Well,
let you do. You know what I mean?
Let me look that up later for next
Yeah.
time.
I did poorly.
What did you get?
6, 3, and 3. So
Okay.
I guess a 3.
With a 3.
Okay, so then I guess
Okay.
I'll say with Ferris.
Unless you,
I'll say
No.
with Ferris's help, you can use your max die. So you'd get
It's-
6.
oh, okay.
One way you could have done it, just so you know, she could have given a bonus of 1 or something, and then
Yeah.
you could have just added it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's true.
Yeah,
That would
that's
make
another
more
way
sense,
to.
I
That's
think.
another way to do it.
Yeah, I think that's
you
probably
need to.
supposed to
You're
do.
supposed to. If we were in combat, what you should do is announce it ahead of time. You're going to use your bonus, but not a
Yeah.
big deal.
Okay, so 6, which is succeed with a minor twist, and you won't get to know what the twist is this time.
Sounds fun. I
Yeah,
look forward to it.
yeah, exactly. Fantastic. Okay, cool. So you build this
Better
thing
dice.
with Earl, and it is one of those things that like it's so hideous that it's cute almost. It's also bedazzled now, so that helps. But it's
Hell yeah.
like 6 times as large as the one that Bungie has. And
But it's got a sidecar, right?
it has a sidecar
So-
too. Yeah, it has a sidecar.
Okay.
And
great.
17 cup holders. And
Okay, fair enough.
it's also got somehow he has one of the thruster engines from a Wayfarer strapped to this thing. And
Okay.
yeah, which is the ones they use for smaller control. It's not one of the ones that's used for like the full thrust. It's for like the maneuvering mostly, but still, it's still pretty big. And it's the majority of the build, I would say. Aaron kind of like built around it, in almost like a circle around it. And
Oh.
yeah, it's basically like this. It's like a giant ring, with the center being like a big rocket engine, basically. And then on the top you have like the main seat, and then the side you have like a sidecar, and then like you have like legs that like hold it in place. And then it has like a little bit of like control wings on the side, basically. But it's basically a big old ring that flies.
I do another test to try to turn it more into like looking kind of like an animal of sorts.
Oh, what kind of animal?
Well, I'm trying to think of. I was in my mind, it was like a shark or like a manta ray.
Okay.
But like,
Yeah.
I don't know how you get that from a ring.
From a ring.
So I'm trying to think of an animal that's a ring.
No, okay, so what we can do is we can take the ring and we can turn it sideways, and then we can just like kind of bang it out a little bit and stretch it out and turn it more to a manta ray shape, right? So it's not
Okay,
circular anymore.
Cool.
And then you have the engine goes underneath it now, right? Instead of through it. And yeah, that works. So you have like a kind of a manta ray kind of like shaped frame, big old engine down below, and then 2 little like stick feet to hold it in place, just to like prop it up. Has a kickstand,
And then the final thing I want to do is paint lightning bolts on it and fire.
Okay, so we have bedazzling, and we have the racing stripe, then we have the fire.
But I
Okay.
want the fire and the lightning bolts to be like on the other side. So like one side's super bedazzled and girly, and then one side's like the attempt of what a boy would probably do, for like his soapbox.
Ferris snaps out of her like perfect honeymoon daydream just long enough to hand over all of her art supplies and show him the spots that she miraculously left for just this thing.
Oh wow.
Perfect.
I knew you would need
That's
that.
what precondition.
There you go, yeah.
Looked at her and is like, "Wow, thanks."
I've
Good
actually,
thinking.
because this is why I was trying to remember that quality thing, because I remembered what mine was.
Oh yeah.
I think it was expert matchmaker.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
of
Yes.
knowing exactly what somebody needed in the moment.
Yes.
Whether that was like, oh, that person over there, that's your soulmate. You need a cup of hot cocoa and a blankie more than anything else in the world right now.
Perfect.
This is her expert matchmaker.
Okay, yeah, my better dice now.
All
It's
right.
going to go better, hopefully.
Cool. So you guys are ready to jump down into the hole. Are you attempting to race each other to see who can like go further, go fastest, or are you gonna just go individually here and just see kind of what you end up being able to do?
Well, Ferris is, and so just two. There's just two things.
There's two
right?
racers and Ferris is along with the ride.
Yeah.
Ferris is sitting quite comfortably in the sidecar. She's got the bird with her. She has somehow got a cup of tea.
A parasol she found in the trash pile.
I will be focused on the cup of tea with my water liquid powers as we're riding to make sure she doesn't get burned in the face from the tea.
Such a gentleman.
But we'll see what happens.
All right, so right now there actually is there's a couple of people going down, setting up to go down into one of the crags. It's kind of like a skate park, right? Where you have like a bunch of people
wait in line.
Well, yeah, a little bit sometimes, but it's not like you
drop down.
But you have the drop down, right?
Right.
Where you kind of have a couple people will go together. You'll kind of wait and you kind of drop down together onto like the half pipe or whatever, right? Or if you're going sledding, whatever, all like and kind of go together to see who can go further or whatever, right? That's like half the fun, right? And a couple of them, one that have like smaller ones, like have like the board like hanging off the edge, like 1 foot, ready to like push down and kind of do the drop into, basically, right? And you got a couple of like 3 or 4. Mostly you're looking at mostly like teenagers. Like there's like 3 teenagers and like 2 like old guys who like have clearly like done this a bunch. And, like they're like, oh, we're gonna show you guys, you young people how this is done, and
smiles and waves.
There's one final thing I want to do. So I have this like metallic sand sort of like silver suit, and seeing more of the skateboard look, I'm gonna like have the sleeves like get short and look like they're almost like cutoffs, and then the pants also look like sort of like more like skater like board shorts.
Okay.
And using those pieces, I'm gonna kind of make this sort of like British sort of like sort of flower helmet / hat for Ferris, for safety, but also it looks more like fashionable, and it's like kind of like one of those like tea party hats,
Okay.
Because that's kind of how I assume she dresses.
Yeah.
Sort of. That's her like vibe fashion.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So I can roll, but I don't know if I can just do that.
No, it's fine. Whatever. It's fine.
You. Okay.
You were already digging through the pile of stuff to make stuff anyways. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, what am I going to do? Say, no, you can't do the fun thing and make her a cute hat. Like,
I mean, you could.
Not a monster. Like, not
You're
yet.
the one in charge. I don't know. I'm not going to...
I mean...
I won't die on this hill, but, I mean, I'll be sad.
You'll die at the bottom of the hill, yes.
Yeah.
We are all 100% about to die at the bottom of the hill.
Yes. Like, they doesn't come back next session and be like, so, everybody else died? They went for a fun outing and just died.
With our characters.
It's just you now.
Yeah. 2 of us were very clear about being daredevils, and we immediately were.
Yep.
And Ferris does not know any better.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so, Bungie, are you doing anything before you drop down into the crag?
So I was thinking something like he would try to, because he's a technologist person, he'd probably try to hook up his body to it in some way so that it makes it springier, and maybe he could use his arms to kind of navigate and maybe to hold onto the sides and push off and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah, to
Something
give
like
yourself
that,
more
anyway.
control possibly. So if you don't run into things possibly, that you can kind of like use your
Right,
your
right.
arm to kind of bounce yourself back off
Yeah,
of it. Yeah, okay.
Spring off of them and bounce off of them and stuff, and
Yeah, and get more like strapped into it, so you're like more like a part of the fixture. So you
I'm
won't like
thinking,
it fall
I was
off.
thinking he's
Yeah.
actually going to be kind of connected to it.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you can do
I
that.
could
You can
fuse you
get like hooked into
if
it a
you
bit.
want.
What did you say?
I could fuse you. I could weld you to it.
Will you
using
be able to
metal powers.
unfuse me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sure. Why don't you do
I
that?
think. Okay.
Yeah, it's like tying
Which
yourself to the
part
mast
do you
of
want?
a ship in the water, right?
Yeah, yeah, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
kind of equivalent. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I'll. I guess. Where's the springiest parts? His arms and his like legs would want to be free, but the
arms and legs.
torso would want to be like connected to it.
Sure.
Would
Yeah,
you want to be at
you're
the
right.
very front or the back, like R2D2 style? Or in the middle? Where do you want me to fuse you to it?
I would have thought he'd be in the middle, kind of like a kayak,
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a bike basically, right? So like, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Cool. So you have like this cool like bike thing that has like a little stringy like arms in the front and just kind of hanging off and like in the back kind of just like thinking around.
Yeah, and I was just wondering, could I do something where I kind of try to improve it?
Yeah. Yeah. Give me a roll. I mean, overcome for that to see how well you do with that.
Can I give a help thing or whatever?
Yeah.
Boon? What's
Yeah.
it called?
Yeah.
I forgot the name.
Yeah.
Bonus?
I will.
Yeah, bonus.
For
Do you want me
fairsies,
to
I
roll
will allow him to use max die then. That's what I gave you.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So I'm just trying to think. I don't know. Like powers is always tricky.
Yeah.
I think it's probably. I'm trying not to use some of my powers because it's a true power. I'm not gonna have that yet.
Yeah.
So either elasticity, which is I've been using all along, or possibly inventions, but not really
Invention.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll use inventions and technology.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Right? Okay,
Yep.
so that's a 10 and a 12, 10, 10, 12. Let's see here. Oh. Really? Okay. Oh, max die is
Yeah.
a 12.
Ooh. All right.
I rolled a 12 on the 12.
Nice.
And you rev this thing, and it purrs. It's like, yeah, it sounds like it's stronger than it was before as you tweak the settings of it and just kind of get all little flaps
Okay.
in all just the right positions. And and nothing else like you look at the beyond expectations. Yeah. And
What was that?
I was reading the note on 12 plus for overcomes real quick. It's beyond
right.
expectation success, right? I'm trying to think how can I go beyond just being better.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he's like did not immediately blow up is probably beyond most people's expectations.
Depends on your expectations, I guess, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to even think of do they give examples or anything, but it'd probably take me too long to look up anything.
Perhaps one of those expert skaters comes over and is able to like give Bungie a really
Maybe some
cool
instructions
lesson.
as to how to use this thing?
Yeah. And you get a really nice compliment.
A nice compliment. Yeah, there you go.
Like
There you go.
you get like
Okay.
the skater like you know, like everyone kind of turns into like, oh, all right. Just like that's like the nicest compliment you can get from this group. So all right, so
Okay.
you guys are
You want
gonna
me to read what beyond expectation is, just so we know for future? Or don't
I guess
you care
so.
at this point?
No, it doesn't matter right now. I can look it up later. It's fine.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I just was kind of curious because we haven't really hit that before.
You never hit a 12 before? Yeah. And you wasted
No.
it. It's fine.
I know, and I'll never get in combat, you know?
Yeah. All right. So you go over to the edge, and there's like a series of like lanterns that have been set up that have like a countdown basically, and they light up one at a time, and then it hits on the green, and you all drop down into the chasm, and the first thing you notice immediately is that the air doesn't feel like air. It almost feels like, I would say water, but that feels almost too thick. It's definitely not. It's a much thicker kind of air, right? And you can feel like the texture in it too. There's like you can feel there's something in the air, you know, and you can also feel that like when you pass through some of like these, you know, the smoky and like misty updrafts, you can feel that like. Yes, it hits like your skin and it kind of feels, you know, like, you know, water vapor or whatever, right? But you also feel like it kind of like goes through you, which is a really weird sensation. And it kind of gives you like this like bone chill as you go. And you get down a pretty good distance, and most of like the younger group begin to turn around. And they begin to like seek out and try to find updrafts, and they kind of like, you know, begin zipping back up again. And that leaves like just one of the teenagers, and then like the two older guys, and then you guys. And then you go a bit further down. You can stop me, by the way. I want me to tell you if you want to pull up or something. Just let me know. Interrupt me.
Beautiful sights.
Yeah. Also, as you're going down, if you're looking up at the sides of like the crag, it's not just like, oh, it's just like a smooth like cliff face, right? There's like stuff in the rock, and like the longer it's going by pretty fast, but like the more you kind of like look at it, the more you can see that like there's like bones in the rock, and not like human bones, but like big bones.
And
like,
can we stop and look at them? Can we control this?
Yeah.
you're going about,
Okay.
I would say almost 90 miles an hour at this point, straight down. So you're going pretty fast. And you're going faster and faster.
I want to reach out my arms and actually try to control it so that I can actually stop and look at this stuff.
Okay. You're going to stop. All right. So
try.
Bungie disappears from the rest of you guys' sight for a bit, and he's just gone, basically. And, you know, you presume that, you know, is going back up, right? Which is not the case. But, yeah, so you stop, and there's there's some white bones that are, like, pretty big. But also there's, like, these... if you look at the picture of the Shard of the Soul, you'll see there's these like crystalline, kind of like bony looking structures that are like the blues and the purple that have these swirly colors in them, and that's kind of more of the structure that you see a lot of as well. Is that you have ones that are more crystalline in nature, right? That are kind of like spikes that shoot out, but you also have ones that like look like this was some sort of creature at some point, based on how it's like connected to other pieces, right? Like part of one of them looks like there's like a, you know, like a half of a face. You can kind of like see like a, you know, partial like skull kind of thing, but it's also like the size of like a ship. So it's huge. And so like you're standing in like an eye socket basically. And then it goes into like a hole,
like a dinosaur bone or something.
Yeah, it's like a dinosaur, you know, bone kind of thing. And like the wind is like howling, you know, and like blowing past like this hole that you're standing in, and there's like a little, you know, the eye socket hole kind of goes like further in, like you can't really see how far in it goes because it's dark in there. But yeah, and like you have like the glow from down below that's helping illuminate a little bit, but like at this point you're too far from the surface, right, for any surface light. Plus it's like, you know, evening too, and you're, you know, still too far from like the bottom to have any light that goes in there, so you can't really see what's in there. But yeah, and there are also like some smaller ones that you think you could probably pull out if you like worked at it for a bit. If you like tried to find a way to like chip it out or something, you know, like excavate it.
Smaller what?
I'm gonna call them bones. Or, you know, they're kind of like shard looking things, you know.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, of like some sort of either smaller creature or they just formed that way. It's not 100% clear for some of these things because they kind of like mesh together a bunch.
Well, sure. I think I'd try souvenir.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you can get like one that's like probably the size of your hand out, and it has like this kind of branching structure to it that looks like it almost looks like it could be like a hand paw thing, or could not be.
Hmm.
Maybe you're just, wishful thinking. But, it's hard to tell with stuff like this if it's like, is that like sentient life or is that just like a weird looking rock, right?
Right.
But yeah, so you've stopped there for a bit. The other two of you have continued on, and you.
When did we notice he like disappeared? Because I feel like we'd be somewhat concerned, maybe.
Yeah, I feel like Ferris would probably notice because she's not having to focus on driving or anything,
Mm-hmm.
and that would have had to be a fairly sudden movement.
Yeah.
Out, and she has the best field of vision. Also, she is definitely at some point in her vast history descended from something that was eaten by birds. So sudden movement probably triggers something in her brain.
Oh. Okay. So yeah, your
Well,
Ferris,
she's
you will
like,
notice them
"Oh,
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh no, I believe something has absconded with our dear new friend. We should probably go back and check on him.
I attempt to turn it around so that it goes up. I guess I'll try to do a U-turn.
I knew you'd always be rushing off to our rescue.
Oh, geez.
All right. So the twist is that it doesn't turn.
Fuck.
It goes real fast in one direction. So you try and turn it, and it weaves like this way, right? But it doesn't like pivot to turn. So you can go left and right, but you can't seem to like make it like flip around in order to go the opposite direction. You now realize that Bungie's craft had thrusters in more than one direction, and yours did not. In order to spin it basically in place.
That.
Yeah.
I don't think I have much I can do here.
Also, you are going tremendously fast now.
Yeah.
You have you're going twice as fast as Bungie was before.
Dear, how much would you say you weigh?
Just waterway.
You never
all
ask
waterway.
a gentleman that.
Yes, but I feel like
7 stone or
I
something,
feel
right?
like it's about to become vitally important to our continued survival if I can lift you.
I don't know. How much would a water person weigh? I don't know.
Oh, the same as a human.
Seems like a human because you're mostly water anyway.
Humans are mostly water
Right.
anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
So do we
Okay,
think
then probably like
do we
I don't
think
know.
if Ferris uses her
200?
power? Oh God! Do
200.
we think Ferris is going to be able to lift this gentleman if she activates her power of flight?
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay, so I would say that based on your understanding of your own powers, you could slow, but not ascend.
Okay.
That is too much to lift.
Slow?
Yeah, so you could slow his fall and your fall, but you don't think that you could probably
Okay.
ascend
but
all the
I'm
way to
not
the
gonna
top.
Gain altitude.
Yes, I mean you can try, but generally speaking, you're not going. It's not something you've been able to do before. It would be a feat of strength that you'd have to actually roll for that, for an overcome.
Yeah. I'm just before I grab him and bail out of here. I'm considering some alternatives here.
So, I have the controlling of metal thing. Is there a way I could try to like move the engine along the sides of it and then move it to the back so like it would shoot us back up?
Ah, okay.
Well, isn't there like currents and things that you could be riding? I mean, because
Yes.
people are constantly going up and down on this thing, so there's got to be a way to get back.
Oh,
And
that's
I've got
true.
if we've got that, I've got a couple things that might come in. I've got transmutation and I've got weather as
Also
one of them.
transmutation.
Interesting.
See, yeah.
Okay, so to your point, there are currents that go upward, yes, which you can get yourself into, and it will help. But you also need to, because if you have a current going this way and your ending goes this way, then you kind of just get stuck.
Yeah, you're fighting it.
So
yeah.
you can potentially, if you try really hard, you might be able to just get stop basically, and then figure it out if you want to. at this point, you're going pretty far, and the other two guys that were next to you are gone, and the teenager is next to you, just like, I'm gonna be the last one. Are you gonna break first? I'm not gonna break first.
Oh,
This
you
is
got
fine.
a child too. All right, I got this under control. All right, so
Well, he said break first. Like there's brakes on
right.
these things.
I don't think there's on mine, but maybe.
Yeah, I don't think we
We'll
checked for
see.
that. Darn, you think I may have precogged that? Oh well.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So feeling this extremely thick air, Ferris has a moment of feeling like she's actually in her jungle home. Like the cities are always at like the perfect temperature for whatever festival is about to happen, but the jungles outside of that have like a much more natural occurring environment, and you go out into them every now and then. So there's this heavy air, and she's remembering how that felt passing over her, and she's going to try to direct one of these currents so that it's going to help slow them to try to give Locke a chance to possibly fiddle with this thing and get their engines in a position where they might be able to stop.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Go ahead and give me an overcome for that. It's a bit of a difficult, tricky maneuver to do, I would say.
Would I also have I'd be doing an overcome anyway, so I couldn't like give.
You'll do yours
help or
next,
whatever.
basically. Yeah, yours is a
okay.
separate thing to then.
I'm hoping to do this to kind of possibly make your overcome slightly easier.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
depending on her
Okay.
success or failure, she might give you a bonus or not. Basically.
Right.
She could try to do whatever you call it, a bonus. What do they call it? Not hinder, but
Boost.
boost. She could do a boost.
Yes, I'm trying to boost him more.
Yeah, you don't need to roll for that then. If you're gonna watch you do roll
Okay.
boost.
Yeah, you do.
Yes, you roll boost. You roll boost. Yeah,
and
yeah.
Basically, you use that mod chart.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, roll for a boost then, which is the same dice basically. It's just
Okay.
there's no penalty if you fail.
All right.
Yeah.
So there we go. So weather, creativity. Oh, okay. Hold on. That is. Oh, we're pretty good here. We're pretty good. We are 6, 7, and 9.
So 7's mid. You don't crest that 3 marker, unfortunately. That's okay. So you get a. That means you'll give Locke a +2 to his roll. So you're gonna go ahead and shape the air current to try and stop you basically in place, so that he can then basically flip it around, and then kill. Then he can kill the engine, flip it around, and then turn it back on again, right? And then you kind of like release it, and they should be able to shoot back up, right? So go ahead, Locke, and give me an overcome for that. With that +2.
We don't have our abilities, but do we have our like principal things, or do we not have those?
Well, principle is an ability, right? I mean,
that counts as ability. Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Trevor, you just got to be thinking about what's your plan and make sure that we don't ruin your future plan.
Yeah, I would say not in this moment. Don't use principles right now, because
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying not to use some of the more exotic powers too, because it won't make sense when whatever happens.
Yeah.
If I already had them.
I have not been doing that, but maybe I should.
You probably should. Yeah.
Yeah, you probably should. Remember, originally Trevor said we'd be rolling D4s for our powers originally, but
I thought, but then you said we had all the powers that we have, but we had no abilities. So that's where I got confused. But
yeah, it just if you don't have a power that applies, or you don't feel like your power would be manifested in a way that makes sense right now, then you get a D4.
I think you want to think about where you got your powers, and if your powers are from the shard, then you probably shouldn't
I
have
see.
them. But if your powers are like part of your natural abilities and such, then maybe you would. Like
Yeah,
my
is it-
elasticity, I kind of figured, well, I probably have it. I'm not trying to like reach a mile away, but at least I've got some sort of springiness to me. But but I'm like I have
Okay.
invisibility. I'm not going to be using that power because that's a true power. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like things that are
Okay.
part of like you as like a species you can use. Things that would be like only for awakened people to be able to use, you wouldn't be able to use, right? Which may boil
Yeah.
down to how they're being used and when they're being able to use too. But anyways, yeah. Do you know what you're grabbing, by the way, Eric, for your dice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see a sheet now.
Perfect.
I got it on my phone, but my
Perfect.
Wi-Fi is still down.
Okay.
I got a 5 as the
5?
mid dice. I got a 10, a 5, and a 2.
10, 5, 2. Okay, then plus 2 is
So
equal to
plus
7.
2,
Yeah,
7.
Okay.
We're just not quite making that 8.
So you get success with a minor twist. Okay, so I don't need to. Yeah, the thing is also like I'm like I can't do damage. It doesn't make any sense.
Well,
Yeah, so
Damage.
you're able to. So wait, I'll go through the success first. So how that's easier. So
Okay.
basically, you're able to stop it in midair, and kind of like slowly kind of get it flipped around, which is kind of difficult to do, honestly. To kind of get rearrange it a little bit, kind of like move it around. You've killed the engine, and then you get ready to like kick the starter or whatever to like engage it again, and. I will say that the twist is that you were going faster than the teenager was. So you were a bit further along than he was. You can see he's coming down and he's not stopping. So you have to decide now if you're gonna try and like grab him or let him go. And he's on his own.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
And based on how this thing is driven so far, you aren't 100% sure if it'll make it back up with extra weight. Right? You've not tested that, so you don't know.
And I can't try to grab his card, give it a boost. I
It's
just have to
it's
grab
hurtling
him from
towards
his.
you. No, you can't.
I see.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's going like
How
180 miles
nice
an
is
hour in the other
this?
direction. No.
How much of a shithead has this teenager been so far to us?
He's been pretty good, honestly. Like out of all of
Okay.
them, like he was the least shitheady, honestly, out of all of them. He seemed pretty new to this, and like his friends kind of got him to do it. And like now he's only still continuing down because he wants to prove like, oh, I'm not, I can do it, because like they were giving him shit before. So like you feel kind of bad for the guy, probably. I would say, if anything.
Yeah, I would try to help him. Sure.
Okay.
How big's the kid?
Kid is about 5 foot tall, probably 140.
He needs a lot of people, I swear.
Yeah, because you're probably. I mean, because you're like
Need to
this
bring that old man.
I'm
light thing that
tall, but I am
you're
rail
wispy,
thin.
right?
Wispy, yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think. Like,
I'm just wondering if this
hold on,
point
hold on.
would.
Let me do
Okay.
a quick Google search on just how strong mantises are. Hold on.
I think they're
Doesn't
pretty strong,
seem
honestly. Like I think they're pretty.
He
I mean,
would stop on his own, or no?
you
he-
can't tell.
He's like, oh, okay. Because I was wondering if I could try to make a quick, like, sort of persuasion thing to get him to like stop.
I would say
climb in our car.
you have
But
about 1 second to make the decision if you're gonna try and grab him or not. He's going so fast. You're at
Okay,
a
I try to
standstill. And he's
grab
going
him.
like 180, going towards you straight down. Like you have to make a decision. Like, are you grabbing or not? Basically.
I try to grab him.
Well, also
Yeah,
like
I try to
also.
grab him.
You also could have Ferris try and grab him too, because you're in control of the vehicle right now too. So maybe this is a Ferris
So-
question, honestly.
Oh,
we are relative. So mantis are relative. What we really are though is quick.
Okay.
Those reflexes are very. I swear to God, I'm doing like a quick Google search, and they're like, "Oh yeah, mantises are very strong." And then, of course, everyone's immediately like, "The square cube law." I'm like, you all are boring and don't understand fun questions. Okay?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
But the main thing everyone can agree on is they are quick. That their reflexes to grab something is extremely
Okay.
quick. All right, so let me see what
I can just see she's quick enough to pull him off, but not to hold on to him.
I would also like to try to grab Ferris, just so Ferris doesn't go flying, hopefully.
Oh, that's a good
from
idea.
the car.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
Ferris is
With
by
one
herself,
hand.
I'm pretty sure
And
Ferris can glide around at the very least, even if she's not truly flying at this point. Because she does have things that resemble wings. They just haven't been functional up until
So,
this point.
Trevor, I got a question about this area. Is the whole thing, is the reason why everybody's going so fast, is that because like the wind is going fast, or is that because the quote the dusters that we're on are just fast traveling?
Yes.
Which one is it that's
Both. You went down in a downstream air draft with an engine to boost you as fast as possible, and you're also just
are these
dropping.
like hurricane winds, or are they
They're
more
really strong. Yeah, I mean they're enough to be able to push and pull a vehicle. So yes, they are quite strong, especially the further down you get, which you're down pretty deep now. They are quite strong when you're at this level. So I would, yeah, I mean, so in regards to Ferris, I would say that if she's able to glide, which I believe she's able to probably, or at least maintain, a Mary Poppins vibe. If you can get yourself into the right stream, you might be able to shoot up into the air, honestly, and make it to the top.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Okay.
You know.
But I wouldn't be able to carry somebody with me.
You don't know. One way to find out.
I know.
it's the thing is our overcomes always make a minor twist, so
Right?
we just keep doing it.
You keep dropping him.
Oh.
I will hold Ferris unless Ferris tells me to let go or something. But
she's just gonna pat Locke's hand and be like, "You got this, don't you? Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Be right back." And Ferris is in fact going to try to pop out and snatch that kid off of his.
Okay.
You're gonna pull an Anakin where he just jumped out of the speeder, like, "Oh, be right back, master," and he just jumps out of the
Look,
speeder.
when you first told me that this thing couldn't turn, that is what my plan was until this idiot told me he weighs 200 pounds, and I'm like, no, that ain't gonna work.
All right. So
see how it is.
Oh, Ferris's affections are true but fickle. All right. She loves truly, but she loves everybody.
All right. All right. So you're gonna basically you're gonna time it so that like you're gonna be leaping from the sidecar as he passes by you in order to tackle him off of his duster, right? And like then just kind of like bear hug it, right? To make sure that when you roll,
I mean, I'm gonna
like,
grab one of my scarves and try to like use that to help pull him into me because I'm
like Indiana
constantly
Jones.
covered by like shawls and scarves and such.
I love that you have like a scarf lasso.
Look, I cut my hair. I have a draft constantly down the back of my neck now. I will constantly, in fact, have shawls and scarves around me.
Fantastic. Okay, so
I'm actually thinking that she should have as one of her powers scarf power or something,
right?
I wonder if one of those powers that you have, you could somehow rename it to scarf.
Unfortunately, I just don't know if any of my powers
funny.
are really going to make sense if I rename them that.
No, I don't. I just
also eventually I am going to give you guys additional powers and qualities eventually, by the way, as you earn them.
I mean,
and
it's
such.
in sense
Just
they don't have a concept of equipment, do they?
No,
But
not
that's
really.
why I'm just saying I
Because the scarf is like an
whatever
equipment.
I want.
Yeah. It's like an item. Yeah, they don't have items in this game, which we'll work on later. But yeah, okay, so you kind of like kind of grab him, and then you're gonna like do a little spin in the air, like a very gentle spin, and trying to angle yourself so that you can like make it into one of the updrafts there. You also notice that now that you're not at all contained by the vehicle. Like and now that you're much deeper now, the mist is much thicker, and like it gives you a feeling of, I'm just gonna say, terror. Like, not just from like the fact that in general this is a scary thing to do, and it's going through you, and it feels like it's like almost like rattling your soul kind of deal. And it gives you like this just inherent sense of dread that wasn't there a minute ago. Now that you're fully, exposed to it. And you also like, you begin to like hear things.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so this probably translates. This probably translates very poorly to Ferris's mind. She's probably like, "Oh my God, did I leave that pie in the oven? Oh my God, I left that pie in the oven."
Yeah, you hear like screaming, and you're like, "Oh, the teapot's on! Dang it!"
Reality has not quite penetrated Ferris's mind yet. It's
fair enough.
Mind-boggling.
However, the kid is definitely scared the hell out.
Oh yeah.
As he is tackled off of his duster, and now is exposed to the elements, and is like face to face with like you, he doesn't know what to do with you is.
Yeah, he has just had a space mantis grab him and bear hug him. Like,
and he's like, "Wait, did you come from the crags? Are you one of the monsters that lives in here?"
Hi, my name's Ferris. I'm from Sugar Plum Nine.
So no, okay, cool. Or you are, and you're luring me a sense of security.
Hold on, I just need you to get us out. We'll talk. It's gonna be great. Hold on.
Okay. Woo. All right, and give me an overcome, both of you, because you're both going up now.
All right.
Me?
Yeah, you, because you're going up.
Yeah, I was going to say at this point, Bungie's probably wondering what's going on with these people, and I might be trying to find out where they are.
Yeah. So Bungie, you have remounted your duster, and you have headed brilliantly back down, and you kind of are seeing. They're pretty far away, mind you, but you're kind of seeing. You've now seen what's happening, because you've now seen Ferris jump out of the sidecar and tackle this kid, right? And you're like, oh, they're not just continuing on. Something now has happened, right, at this point.
Right.
And then you see both of them begin to ascend as well. So you can choose to either turn around, try and meet them, or just go as far as you can and be like, haha.
Well, so they're right. So they're actually coming up. So if they were in danger, I would definitely go down. But you're saying,
well, we'll know that. I'll have an answer for that in just a second once they roll.
I am in danger.
Oh, God,
you're in danger?
I got a 2.
You got a 2?
As my middle.
That's your bit.
Okay.
I got 6, 2, and 2.
Okay, so.
Oh no,
so
then the 6 is actually the mid.
6, 2, and 2. No, it's 2.
No, 2.
No, it's 2.
It's still 2.
2, 2, and 6.
6 is high. 2 is low. 2 is
sorry,
mid.
I thought you said 6, 6, and 2.
No, yeah, 6, 2, 2. Yeah.
If it was 6, 6, and 2, I would be excited.
Yeah.
But
All
no.
right.
Okay.
I mean, I thought. Okay, so on the good side, Ferris thought she was in danger. Turns out I read that dice wrong. Ferris may actually be all right. I got a 4, 8, and a 9.
So
it's
8.
8.
Complete
Wow.
success.
Finally.
Complete success. No twist. Beautiful.
Right.
Okay. So you got a 2.
What's a hero point do? Can I use that to reroll?
No, unfortunately, not like this.
No.
So
Hold on.
okay, so you have the option to succeed, but with a major twist, or you can fail.
What were you actually trying to do?
He's trying to turn it around completely and reignite the engine and go back up, basically, into an upstream, basically, right? In order to angle it correctly and all that stuff, right?
And Ferris being successful just means that she's hanging onto this teenager, okay? Is that?
And
what that
she's
means?
going up in a gentle,
in
a fairly gentle fashion. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
So she's going up.
To angle us into an airstream. So.
Got it.
But I also told that idiot I'd be right back. Like, he was supposed to wait.
Well, I was trying to spin it anyways before.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I mean,
So Locke is stuck in the sense that he can't turn this thing around, is what we're saying, and what he's trying
Seems
to
like,
do is
yeah.
turn around. and he could take a major twist if he wants to turn it around. Is
Yes.
that the idea?
Yes.
I guess. How close am I to plummeting to the depths of the center of the shard?
I mean, you're not that close, right? I mean, you got quite a
I'm
distance
fine then. I'll
still.
take a failure. Let's go with it.
Okay. Take a full failure. All right. All right. He wants to
If I
meet
was,
God. All right.
seconds away / like just like.
I mean, this is it is a very, very deep pit. Like
great.
it seems
The
almost
further down
endless.
you get, the more dangerous it gets. I guess.
The more dangerous it gets. Yes.
Well, sure.
Okay.
I get another dice roll probably, so maybe
I will say
Maybe.
that'll go better.
I
Well,
think
I'm thinking Bungie's going to try to come down and save you, but
yeah. Also, I will
Oh,
say that I think
probably.
you made the right call to take a failure rather than a major twist, because I think it's better in this instance.
I feel like the major twist was the car was going to explode and I was going to shoot upwards.
Close.
Well, it's no fun if you know it's coming.
Yeah, right.
Because I thought it was going to be the engine was going to kick on and then it'd just make me go flying, but it would be separate from the rest of the
I mean, we
duster.
are going to possibly do a Ben Quadranero scenario. That's a pod racing reference, by the way. Eventually here, if you fail again, that is.
Fair enough.
Yes, deep cut on the Phantom Menace references here today. I mean, but no one else knows who Ben Quadranero is. All right. Okay, so
Heard the name.
he's the guy whose engine stalls at the very beginning of the pod race, and it shoots off into the sky and explodes. So your thing does not turn correctly, and you continue to plummet. And you notice that the further down you get, the faster the stream gets, and it's like, it's really strong, like blasting against your face, making your face kind of like swish around because it's all watery, right? It's just like
Yeah.
like your whole face is gone.
Like his face is just kind of like in the back of his head.
Yeah.
The water is just,
you know, the thing with your face.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're gonna go down quite a distance before you're able to. Because you're also one of the big problems is you're beginning to not be able to move because the G forces are so strong on you at this point that it's being harder to be able to actually move your body in order to try and do stuff, right? Because you're going so fast. You're like, oh, I got a long way to go before, and you're like, oh. But not if I go twice as fast as I was a second ago. Now it's getting much closer, much faster.
It's like a black hole. The closer you
Can
get,
I try the brakes?
Yes. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and try and pop him on again to try and flip it again.
I'm not going to try to flip it. No.
No, you're trying to slow down? Okay.
Brake.
Okay.
I'm trying to, because I'm thinking I don't think I have a chance to spin it if it's also forces are going against me.
Yeah.
I don't think I can beat that, but I think I have a chance of maybe not plummeting full force into whatever the center of it is at the bottom and dying. I think I have a chance of maybe landing it if I start braking now. But
okay.
We'll see.
Yeah, go ahead and give me another overcome. And Ferris, I will say, while you do that, go give me an overcome for that. And Ferris, I'll let you know that you're basically just like Mary Poppinsing it, just like very gently to the top. You even had a parasol and teacup before, so you lost the teacup, unfortunately, like in the car. But you had the parasol still, so you are just full on Mary Poppinsing it up with this teenager.
Do I see Bungie on my way up?
Yes, Bungie is now basically running around, about to pass you, so you can interact in some way if you wish.
Bungie, could you go check on... Oh, hi, Donald. Could you please go check on Locke for me? I'm afraid he did not wait where I told him to. I need to get this child back to his mother.
Is he in trouble?
I haven't known any of you long enough to say for certain, but something is...
Okay, I'll go check it out.
Yes, he is in trouble.
How much time has passed between when he fell out of the stained glass window to now?
Oh, you turned to hit points?
No, like how? No, just like I'm just wondering because maybe he's not.
What has his day been like?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's been
his day.
Is this the same day?
I cannot confirm or deny
Yeah.
it's the same day or not, honestly.
Okay.
Right.
Great.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so Bungie, you're headed down to get him, and you have that 9 speeder. So you're going pretty fast. I will say that he's clearly still outpacing you. So you're gonna, however, you did modify it.
I
You
did modify
it with that
I'm
beautiful
using
12.
the booster or whatever it is,
Yeah, you're gonna hit the
extra
nitrous button. Yeah.
controls
Hit the NOS. Yeah.
Nas.
Yes.
Nas.
Okay, this story is
Never
about
hit
family.
Okay.
Sorry, it's the Toretto thing for Fast and Furious. Yeah, so you're gonna hit the NOS button, and which you made up. That's the thing you added to it. You added nitrous oxide to this device, and you put it in super turbo at this point. So now you're zooming, which is great. Probably. You're going faster than the speedometer on it shows. You have broken the speedometer at this point, and you've turned into like almost breaking the sound barrier at this point. Like you.
Wow.
Like you actually if you measure it in Machs, you're in a very high Mach. I don't even know how they're measured, but like
Mach,
yes.
Mach is the speed of sound.
Is it okay? Yeah. So I will say that you know what? Sure. I'll say that you, when you hit the nitrous button, you do break the sound barrier, and it does shake everything. Which also, and you hear a little tink as the teacup from the Locke's ship falls off, and it hits one of the walls. And so you get the zoomies, and you go real far down real quick, and you manage to catch up to Locke quite quickly, right as you're
I'm trying to match his speed so that I can.
Yeah. So you get alongside him right as your nitrous burns out, though. So you got down there with that. You can't get back up with that, right? With the booster. You have regular speed. You can yours turns around.
Yeah.
And at this point,
Mine will turn around if I can turn it once I land.
Yeah. Bold of you to think that there's a landing in the center of this chart.
I so like there's a landing somewhere.
You look down, and you realize that your plan to land this thing does not make sense. There isn't an island. There isn't ground underneath you at all. It appears that this fissure goes all the way through the shard to the side. And there's something at the center of it that is emitting this giant glow, right? And that is what you're getting very close to. Follow
the light.
Yes.
Does the glow seem to burn?
Yes.
Do I get
hot?
Yes. It's beginning to boil your skin because you're made of water. And you also begin to see things in the mist that are not things you want to see in any kind of mist.
Have I dropped the kid off yet?
You have made it to the top. Yes. Fantastic. And you are looking down. And it's very hard to see because they're very far away at this point. But you're kind of squinting to see what they're up to, and if they're gonna make it or not. Now everybody else now around is kind of looking down into the fissure too after you bring this kid up, because they were all half paying attention, but
can I say that they're actually exchanging money now?
they're betting on that.
Yes.
Yeah, Paris says no. My friends are still down there. Should I be concerned?
So one of the more of the old timer guys that was going down the US before, it is kind of just sitting on the edge, and he's like, "Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. I think we might need to pull it. What do you think, Ted?" "Yeah, I think we need to pull it." And these are
we're pulling. I'd be delighted. Can we go pull it?
I'm gonna hit the island. All right. He thumbs over to. There's a lever on what looks like almost like a phone booth looking thing. Look, it's been here for ages. And there's a big red lever.
Ferris goes over and pulls the lever.
All right. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So you pull the lever, and you see one of the foods like carts that is nearby. All of a sudden, just like goes up and upright, and then it kind of like transforms a little bit up in the air, and like a little like crane thing pops out, and then like a little what's it called? Like a big like giant harpoon gun basically comes out the front too, and on the sides of it are basically missiles, and it fires, and it's just like boom, it's just gone immediately.
Oh, that's definitely helpful.
And at the end of it is a giant rope basically, and it shoots past them like almost immediately, like it's like speed of light basically. Yeah. How fast this thing goes, and it hooks into something you can't see. It goes past and through the light, and then all of a sudden it's taut, and which presumably means it caught something on the other end of the shard or something.
And Ferris will just go to the corner and yell down, "Boys, I need you to stop being so silly and get back up here now, please. All right. I have some shopping I need to do before we go."
And
she's going to sit down and start doing some knitting.
Beautiful. So you guys, the two of you guys see this giant rope and this isn't like, oh, the tiny rope. It's like this big, thick thing that it goes right next to you guys, basically. And on it, all throughout it are all these like chain links, like these hooks, basically. And you notice that at least on Bungie's, it has a thing on the side of it that you can hook, and you can clamp it onto it basically, and it'll tether it. And it has, each of these things also has elasticity to it. So what happens is basically you hold it out as you're going like super fast, right? You hold it out like this big hook thing, and it catches, and then it like springs down, and then it'll like fling you back up. Right? So you have like this thing attached to your thing, Bungie, that you can use whenever you wish to, and the thing goes all the way down to the bottom, so you can wait as long as you want.
Can Locke wait as long as he wants? No.
Oh my! So Bungie's. I assume Bungie just sees that he's in trouble. I mean, he likes Daredevil stuff, but he knows safety for protecting his ward that he always had to protect. So he's gonna try to grab Locke and pull him out, and then he's gonna try to hook onto the thing.
Okay, fantastic. I will not make you roll for it because you're also springy, so your arm will be fine. And Locke would have had to roll for it because it's a lot of force to try and like get it without your arm getting yanked out. So yeah, you go ahead and you kind of toss it on there, and you get very close to getting into like something that looks like it's going to be like, I would say like noxious gas, basically, right? Like it gets thick, and it gets like very multicolored down there, and you also begin to hear something very, very big growl at you as well.
Below us.
Below you, yes. Actually, I would say at this point, it's to the side of you. You're so far down, it's to the side of you.
Okay.
And you see some lights through all that mist, basically, right? You see like these two giant lights that are possibly eyeballs that are moving closer to you as you finally come to a stop at the end of like the stretch, and then it goes thoink, and it shoots you back in the air, which then releases the cable once you've gotten that force behind you, and you guys shoot all the way up, and you go probably a good 200, 300 feet up in the air, past the surface, to the point where you're just like you're in the sky before you.
Was this out in the open, or was this like in a building?
Well,
The
I mean,
hole that we.
oh, it was
down.
like it was like next to like one of the streets, basically.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it was up in the open. And so you zip.
Good thing.
Yeah, good thing there's no ceiling. And then you crest and you come down, and you're able to actually like now use the actual like air brakes and slow down in a normal fashion and make it down to the bottom here. And you get a little bit of applause from the people nearby, but not as much as you're hoping for, probably, but a little bit. Like, there's a good like 10 or 12 people that are watching, like, yeah, that was awesome.
So Bungie looks at Locke and says, "Let's go again."
Ferris is going to walk over. She has managed to make individually knitted scarves for both of them in the time since pulling the lever. It's incredible.
Wonderful.
And she's just draping her head. Okay, boys, we could go. That was so fun. I loved it so much. We can go again later. I actually do have some errands I need to run. I would really love it if you would both escort me.
Okay, I got to return the return my rental. I don't know what Locke's going to do, but I'm going to return my rental now.
Oh, right then you hear
I
a
couldn't-
boom as the rocket hits the middle of the shard and explodes.
Yeah. Right.
And Earl's like, hell yeah!
Ferris kind of blows him a kiss.
Yeah,
And you can see the
Earl
glitter
like,
like poofs up from the bottom of the castle.
Oh, delightful.
Also, Bungie, Craig's has Craig hands you like a picture that has, it's like one of those things from like the theme park that has like your a picture of your face as you were coming back up, like I get a picture of you.
Yeah.
And you're all just like, ah!
How much is the picture? Is it part of the rental?
It's part of the rental, yeah. It's under the yeah.
Oh, okay, great.
Right. Yeah.
And he takes a copy for himself too, and he puts it on the wall with a whole bunch of other ones too.
Does everyone look as frightened / as affected? I don't know if Locke really looks frightened. I think he's just kind of like, yeah, the G-force is on him. It's
His
just
face
has
is-
his entire face
Face
backward.
is all mushed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you return your stuff though, and it's surprisingly fine, minus sans one safety cable, which is not a problem. They just reinstall one, so yeah, cool. So Ferris, you said you wanted to go do some errands.
Yes. So, assuming that the captain has told us that there is a plan to kind of go off and adventure,
Go on.
Ferris is like, okay, well, we can't just, leave like that. You need to be prepared. This is also probably the first time that the rest of her, or at least part of it, are going to realize that Ferris has no concept of money or any system outside of a smile and a wink and, oh, I'll get you next time, aren't you just so sweet? So the first shop she walks into, she is like gathering ingredients for food, and it's very clear that she probably only really knows how to bake, and probably bake like sweets, because that seems to be the kind of ingredients she is putting together. Y'all are gonna have scurvy in a month. That's probably not true. Actually, there's probably quite a lot of apples involved there, so you may actually be okay. But somebody's going to grab some kind of citrus, most likely. And her charm, I think, does kind of hold out while she's talking to the clerk.
Her what does?
Her charm, just
Oh,
like
charm.
her, just like
Yeah,
her
yeah.
being her, just like, it's so delightful here. I've never been anywhere like this. Oh my God, look, everything's so beautiful. Oh my God. And it isn't until she is, in fact, like bagged up what a couple shopping bags worth, and is clearly planning on just walking out the door without even asking about payment, that you guys might finally get an idea of why Ferris was in jail.
Locke's gonna just watch, wondering if this is a bit or not.
Or she's a really bad thief.
Seeing,
A really bad shoplifter.
and then seeing if the clerk's gonna let her get away with it.
Yeah, absolutely
so he's just
not.
gonna watch, somewhat amused. But he has his pocket, like he has whatever, I forget what the coins are called here.
Cubits.
Cubits, that's it. He's gonna have like cubits like in his like pocket, like his hands in his pockets, like ready to pay. But he wants to see what's gonna happen first.
Yeah. So the clerk is like, excuse me, the cashier's actually over here. You gotta come around over on this side in order to pay. You can't. There's not a stall outside or anything like that.
Ferris is literally looking at him blankly, like.
But isn't there a discount for being ridiculously good looking? And
only on Tuesdays, and unfortunately, it's still not Tuesday.
Shit, you're right.
I mean, I am going to bring you one of the pies that I make. It's my mother's recipe. You are going to love it.
Oh, I'm sure. That sounds delightful. I do appreciate that, but you do still need to pay because that's how economics works.
Ferris has fully blue screened.
Blue screen.
So, does he look over like? Does she not know what economics is? Okay.
No, she doesn't really know.
She's a little confused.
She's Sugar Pie 9.
Never heard of it, but they sound very dumb. Okay, so.
Well, that's just. She's not dumb. She's just what do you call it?
Overly good looking?
Intelligence challenge.
Yeah. Locke starts laughing as he's trying to defend Ferris. Not ready for Bungie to say that.
You can see Ferris slowly trying to like sound out the word pay, like it. Yeah, blue screen of death. She has no idea what's going on right now.
So Ferris, you have the idea.
Local.
You have the idea of like giving out of being generous, right?
Oh, of course, always, yes.
Generous,
yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So, sometimes when you give a gift, you try to figure out what's on their gift list first.
Oh, I always know. I've got the perfect.
Their gift list is kind of secret, but they really want you. They really want gifts that are these little cubity things. That's really what's on their list. So that's what they want you to have. Do you actually have any cubits? Do you know what a cubit is? Hello?
I'm gonna just like put some in her like pocket or like without her sort of realizing, if possible, while she's talking to Bungie.
So I see him do that. So look in your pocket. See, look in your pocket.
She'll put her hand in her pocket and she'll pull out a hand. Oh my Lord, where did that come from? Oh my!
So those are the kind of things that most of these people who have shops, that's on their gift list. So if you really want to be generous, that's what they really like.
I mean, it seems.
There's other customers, ma'am.
Are you sure? This feels so one-dimensional. I mean, I feel like there's so many other ways. Like, I could do you a favor next time you're in town. If you have a flat tire, I know somebody who is so good at that.
It's not on their gift list, Ferris.
All right, you're gonna have to help me with this, but
so,
I don't. How many of these am I supposed to give him all of them, or one of like I don't understand.
I think I can help you out, I think, because you mentioned pies before, right?
Yes.
You bake pies, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so think of it this way. In order to bake a pie, you have an ingredients list, and you need to have specific measurements of certain kinds of ingredients, yes?
Yes.
So shopping is like that, and the ingredients are the money you bring to then make the pie, which is the stuff you get.
All right.
Yeah?
So I'm supposed to look deep into my heart and just measure with love and know exactly.
Oh, no. You're the kind that don't use recipes, aren't you? Oh, no. Oh, you're those kind of people.
Ferris has never seen a measuring cup in her life.
Oh, no.
Okay. Oh,
I'll just like
I hate
again,
Wednesdays so much. Tuesdays is the best
look
day.
at the look at the
He's being
price of
sobbing
what
in the
it
corner,
is,
just like, why is it always the
and then
Wednesday, people?
just be like, just kind of move them to like one part of Ferris's hand,
Yeah,
and just kind of take the other ones away,
she is still
and
so confused.
and be like, so
It
see
seems so impersonal.
see that over there? It's like a number. Have you seen numbers before, Ferris?
Yeah, of course I have. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, so that tells you how many of these you need.
Oh.
And then that's how you figure it out. So like you got like
Sure.
apples and like sugar. So sugar's like 4 of these little ones, and apples are like 1 of them. So then you add them all up.
All right. And she, now that somebody's like literally walking her through it, she's able to do so. And it seems so impersonal. It's so cold. I don't there's no sense of warmth or love or community to this. It gives me the shivers.
Me too.
What are humans made of? Like, what's the material? Are they more like some sort of crystal, or what?
So they are crystalline hard light.
Okay, can we try to add glitter to them so that Ferris likes them more
Sure.
somehow?
I suppose so. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're still readable,
Okay.
I think, if you paint them or whatever. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to make ones for her that make it more exciting, and so they feel less impersonal.
Yeah, Ferris is about to sit down and try to knit this man like a whole suit. It's about to get bad.
So, all right. So I guess that covers it then. I have so many questions for. Like, do you not know how to do math too, or
Oh no, I'm quite good at math.
really? Do you use
yeah.
math very often? What do you use math
No.
for?
I mean, we use it mostly to make sure we're keeping track of what holidays coming up and how many presents we need to get everybody, and how many pies we need to bring to the picnic, or how many flowers we need to cover the float for the parade.
How many holidays do you got there, actually? I've
we
heard
got-
rumor, but
And Bungie goes, lock, no, it's awfully nice weather we're having out there, isn't it?
Bungie sees the danger coming.
A little flag pops up in the back of his head. Boink! Red flag.
Red flag. Do not let Ferris talk about holidays.
Locke misses this, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it is pretty nice outside. It's good for one of those holidays, right?"
Let's enjoy one of those. Let's enjoy the nice weather outside.
And Ferris will walk and talk. She will absolutely be down here and telling them all about the last. Oh God, what did I even call it?
Also, after you exit the
at the grocery store,
Winter Wonderfest, yeah.
At the grocery store, Locke will only buy ingredients that work for cocktails. So like limes, lemons,
got your citrus,
salt.
That's good.
Just anything of that nature that makes cocktails. But probably not the alcohol, because they probably don't sell it there unless they do, and then he'll buy lots of that.
I mean, this is Crypt Market. They 100% do.
Oh, okay, great.
They do not check for ID.
Okay. Great.
Yeah. A year is a little weird on Ferris's planet. She is 100% an adult, but there's only like 16 weeks to a year where she's from. So it's a little awkward asking her age or anything like that.
I see. In mantis years or human years, right?
In her planet, she is probably like it's gonna sound ridiculous, but she's probably like been through like 50 cycles of this kind of thing. But in like, if you were to translate that over to like Earth years, she's a little younger than Eloise.
Okay.
Kind of idea.
Yeah, there is also an expanse-wide standard of age that is used on top of whatever your shard stuff is, right? that you can also use, but I don't know if you would be aware of
she-
it.
No. So she is an adult, and her and Eloise are very close in age. She's just a little bit younger than her, kind of idea, like possibly even
Oh.
just a few months, kind of thing.
Gotcha.
I had another thing Locke wanted to do. If there is alcohol, can he buy booze for the teenagers? 'Cause-
Yeah.
Especially the
yeah.
one who definitely saw the things in the mist that he saw.
yeah.
And if he hasn't started to drink, maybe he could have,
My
He's-
guess is that in this area, he probably has started.
yeah, most
he-
likely.
Yeah,
But,
he's got a paper bag that he's for some reason hiding his booze, but yeah. But you can
well,
give
I'd
him
like to buy
something
him
nice,
better booze.
better booze. Yeah, okay.
Like not the bad one, and then go over to him and be like, I noticed you're drinking like this brand, and like that's shit. That's cheap stuff. Don't do that. It ain't worth it.
But
You gotta go for the good
this
stuff.
is what all my friends are drinking. I don't know. It's they always. I mean, it burns and it feels like my I sinuses are on fire, and I think it tastes kind of like the gutter. But they said this is the hot shit, right?
This is not the, and I like kind of look in the paper bag, and I'm like, yeah, no, this is exactly what I thought it was. This is like Jim's gin. No, that's shit. You don't want that. Like, look, even Jim is spelt wrong. Gin is spelt wrong. Like, that's not what you want. And he like hands him a much nicer bottle.
Gives him like a nice
Much nicer
Chardonnay.
Yeah, and he's like, this goes really well with some fish and sometimes a little bit of shrimp, but it also has a really nice kick. And he'll start like kind of slicing him like some of the fruits he has, and be like, and if you put this in here too, it'll really bring out the acidic taste. And it'll start kind of just mixing this kid a drink in the middle of the alley, and teach him how to not be. Yeah, exactly. And then I'll hand that to him to try and see what he thinks. I can roll something if you want. But...
Nah, because like the thing is, I don't know if this kid's gonna know quality anyway. So,
well, that's true. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, like, it could be shit and it could be good. It doesn't really matter to him, I don't think. But he's like, he's more just like, that's good. It's different. It's definitely different. Yeah. I don't know if I go through that many steps to make a drink. I can just just pick it up for like a tiny bit of money, a couple cubits, and it does the job of making me forget my horrible troubled past.
What?
all the orphans I had to be to get here. What? Sorry.
Is that what you saw in the mist? Something about your past, or?
Oh no, I saw my future in the mist, and I think I need to change some things possibly about my life.
What kind of future?
Well, he's just like, it's kind of short. I'll be honest.
If Ferris hears that as she's walking past,
yeah,
she's gonna break from explaining the Winter Wonder Feast to Bungie just long enough to look at him, and with like her expert matchmaker thing is going to tell him, see, now here's what you need to do, darling. You know that I don't even know if Ferris would understand what most like stores are here. She recognizes ones that like she has, but there's probably one that like, she just doesn't really know what it is, and she's going to refer to it in like weird terms. But it's probably somewhere where they like build those skiff things that they were riding
dusters?
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a board shop, basically, right? Like.
Yeah. but like a one that's like probably a little bit more quiet and out of the way, where the owner is going to really be able to like teach him the ins and outs of how these things are made, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she's gonna be like, you know that nice gentleman, and you guys all make fun of him and call him names
Doofus
at
face.
his shop around the corner. Yeah, you need to go talk to him, darling. You need to, cause he needs it's like somebody with like good hands and a strong back to do some of the stuff around him. And if you do that, I'm pretty sure in a couple of years you're going to inherit that shop.
Oh. Wait.
Hmm?
You talking about Rudolph's? The one that they used to call him names?
Yes. Yeah, that's definitely.
You're not talking about Craig's. You're talking about
No, Rudolph.
This is Rudolph's. Yeah,
yeah.
you know,
I'm
like
sorry.
it's tiny and out of the way.
Now it's
Not a lot of
canon.
people go there, but you know, I think he does all right for himself, and I'm sure he would really appreciate the company.
You seem very sure of yourself.
Look, I just have
Which
this
is-
feeling about things, and I really kind of feel like that's where you need to be.
I weirdly trust you, and I don't know if that says more about me or you, or maybe I just had a weird experience, and like maybe this weird man I just met gave me my drink, and he roofied me. I don't know, but
I never would do that. Okay,
My friend
first of
would
all,
never
the
do
flavor would really mess it up. So, I mean, you wouldn't do that. And then also,
What?
there's the morality of it too.
Why don't
But
we?
really,
Why don't we?
the
Why
flavor.
don't we take him there now?
Absolutely.
okay.
Would you give
Yeah.
me the honor of
Introduce
escorting
him
me,
to the
young
owner.
man?
I guess so. I've never like
Fantastic.
gone into a
Yeah,
store and not robbed it, so I guess.
I've been.
Ferris blue screens a bit again because this is once again a concept that's very foreign to her. She doesn't realize that is basically what her people
Mhm.
do constantly.
That's right. That's right.
Mhm.
She just kind of blue screens again from a file not found. Come on, let's go talk to him. You'll love this. And she's gonna walk on, and she's gonna start chatting to him about different knitting techniques.
And he's just so confused. He's like, so you make your own clothes, but you could just like buy them or
There's no love in
steal
that,
them.
darling. You see, no,
Huh.
no. It's all about the love, the care, the commitment, the feeling that you get when you give somebody a hand knit pair of socks. It's nothing like it.
Interesting. I wonder if. No, that's stupid. Never mind.
No,
But there's
no, no,
nothing like it.
It's the
You're
best
saying this
feeling
is
in
an
the world.
extreme feeling?
It's the
because-
most extreme feeling you could possibly have.
Knitting socks.
You must teach me.
I'd be delighted to.
No.
Budgie, you too. We need to do this.
Learn how to knit.
You could have a knitting
This seems to
circle.
be the most adrenaline
That'd be
thing.
great.
Okay, can
Possible.
we take this young lad to
Oh, we're walking.
the?
We're walking.
yeah.
and
You're walking, talking, yeah.
We're
We'll
walking
do
and
that, and then
talking.
we'll
Yeah.
learn how to knit.
Yeah,
I've
we're
never knitted
walking and
before.
Ferris is pretty much always walking and talking.
Okay.
Like she almost never stands still for these conversations. And
Uh,
as she comes around, she comes up to like the door, just knock knock. Anybody home?
And an older guy who's like probably like late 70s opens the door like, yeah, the door's open. You can come in if you want.
Hello. Oh, what a delightful. Oh, this is so nice. Look at everything. Oh, it's so clean. I love it here. This young man here. I'm probably sure you might know him. Anyway, he
Oh,
needs somewhere.
I know him. Are you
Oh,
here to take
good,
my
good,
stuff
good,
again?
good.
Like,
No,
he
no.
gets
This
a
is
broom and
gonna
like,
be
get back, not again.
And Ferris is gonna like this like quick mantis like strike out and grab the kid. He
Yeah.
actually needs some, he actually needs somewhere to spend some time during the day.
In jail.
No, like being useful.
In jail.
No.
Well,
That's what it's for.
If you train him and get him to like, help. I mean, his friends probably rob you a lot, and like if he worked here, like they probably wouldn't rob you. So like that would be a real benefit for you, man.
I don't know what half those words
Beat
meant, but I
him
think
up
he's
first
right.
before me. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Anyway,
Maybe.
I just had to say it's like he is actually going to be really good at whatever it is you do here. not gonna lie, I don't really understand what it is you do here, but I get the sense that he is perfect at it. Like, it is like a once-in-a-lifetime talent that it's actually a real shame it's going to waste right now. And I just get a sense that you might be the perfect person to really bring that out of him and nurture him and get this whole real father-son thing going on, that in a few years you're going to wonder how you ever lived without each other. It's going to bring a tear to the eye. It's going to be the most beautiful moment of just like this real touching moment where you both really see into each other's hearts and understand each other on a deep intellectual and spiritual level. Ferris will just go on.
And like
waiting to be interrupted.
And
Mark is just watching. He's
Rudolph's
loving this.
eyes kind of like get a little bit like watery, and he's like, "I miss my boy. I do miss my boy.
I know.
He left 20 years ago. I haven't seen him since."
It's tragedy for all of us, really, that we never got to meet him. Anyway, I've brought you a new boy.
Weird phrasing, but I see what you're saying. Yes.
Okay.
It's that Ferris loves truly and deeply, but it is short.
I get. I mean, I could use some help around here, honestly.
And he needs something to do to keep that brilliant mind that he has but doesn't know about occupied.
He is the most devious of all the shoplifters around here. I will say that.
No idea what that means, but I don't know how you would lift a shop.
Oh, okay.
You can do it. You need a pretty big crane for it, but you can make it happen.
And he like kind of like he gets his broom and he just like kind of whacks like the kid like back. Like, all right, get in there, get on.
This time Ferris lets him go.
The kid's just like, bye, I guess.
What's your name, by the way?
Tandrew.
Locke asked the kid. Oh, all right. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you, random man who gave me weird booze and lady who saw my future and changed it, I guess. Bye.
Bye. We will come back and check on you.
Okay.
Constantly.
I mean, okay. I mean,
Wait,
Find out whether you're naughty or nice.
Ferris does not know that was a threat.
I mean, my parents don't even do that. Okay.
Oh, I just know you're going to do fantastic things. It's going to be fantastic. The end of this story, it brings a tear to my eye just thinking about it. And you see one kind of beautiful crystalline tear form at one of these big golden eyes and just slowly trails down.
Fantastic.
Anyway, I have more shopping to do. Bye-bye now.
Yeah, and after he closes the door, inside you hear like the sound of like some like machine equipment, and like, no, don't put that there. And then a thunk. Ow! All right, I'm listening. All right. Fantastic.
So are you going to teach us how to knit?
Yes, we need to get you some things first, though. Ferris pulls out a bag that. Actually, hold on. I'm just gonna.
You have a real bag?
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna grab my real knitting bag. She basically pulls out this, which has like a half-finished knitting project on top, a set of needles, and just some random doodads. Much like how she cooks, she doesn't use patterns. Unlike me, who does use patterns. And she's like, yes, absolutely. We need to find you. And she basically starts looking around because in her mind, having just a knitting shop is obvious. But she hasn't seen one yet, and that's actually starting to like twiggle the back of it because that's the next thing she needs. She needs her crafting supplies.
Okay. Yeah, I would say that Crypt Market, it's harder to find stuff like that you'd probably want to go uptown to the harbor in order to find that. You could, if you wanted to, you could probably find one if you spent enough time searching to find. And they do have like clothiers and whatnot.
Is there like a disturbing one that uses like bones as like the?
They have
the
a voodoo.
knitting
They have a
needles
voodoo
and,
one.
like,
Yeah, they do have a voodoo one that has a bunch of
I would
needles.
definitely take Ferris to that one.
Whichever one she comes across first. Once again, very hard to upset Ferris, except by like
You break her brain.
telling her to pay for things.
Yeah, so I mean, they do have a voodoo shop that has that's primarily the use for like sewing and like needles and stuff around this area of town is for like witchcrafty like kind of things.
Fantastic. And Ferris, once again, despite the fact that the door is open, Ferris announces it because this is just what knock knock.
What do you want?
Oh, hello there. This is the most delightful store I have seen here yet. It's so atmospheric. I love it. She holds up-
Has
she
anyone
holds up-
ever told you got the most lovely voice I ever heard?
So
My
melodic.
last 3 husbands did, yeah.
Oh.
Before I
Oh,
killed them
well
with my
then.
high quality merchandise.
Oh, well
That's
then,
great.
what a way to go. And Locke will wink at her.
Hey, sugar.
And Ferris just kind of holds up the knitting bag, specifically like the knitting needles, which for her are like stainless steel. I don't use. If nobody else knows anything about knitting, I'm about to say words that probably don't mean much.
No.
I don't knit flat, which is how most people think of knitting, which is 2 separate needles. I knit in the round, which means it's 2 needles connected by a cord.
Okay.
And then you can just kind of move things around as needed. And it, personally, I think it's the superior way to knit.
Personally, I think it's the superior way to knit.
Yeah. That was so
Fantastic. No notes.
But that is basically what she is holding up is her personal little kit of these knitting needles that have lots of different tips and a few different cords that you can use that are different thicknesses and...
Whoa.
Sorry, one second.
Oh. I thought the door was open. I was like,
Yeah, because it's dark. You
can't
can't
see anything
tell.
back there.
I feel like this is our strength as players, is just fucking around and doing nothing.
Well, you get a whole session to do it, so.
Like normally, I
Absolutely
feel
no.
like, yeah, it's normally not a good thing because like we want to accomplish things, but like that's the entire point of
That's the whole
this
campaign.
session, and it's great.
Yeah.
All right. I'm probably gonna have to go, guys.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just
Okay.
some stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
But I will try to be here for the next episode.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so yeah, I mean we're recording it on stream. I'll tell you later on, but yeah. Okay, so anything else? You got about a half hour left, I would say, in the night here. Anything else that you two chuckleheads want to do?
I mean, I guess I guess we get the knitting stuff and knit later on.
Yeah, we'll say that you gather the supplies, and at a
Okay,
later
sure.
date you will be taught to knit. You're not gonna like just do it in the middle of the street, right? It requires the
Yeah,
proper
true.
atmosphere, which was that, I'm sure, right?
I feel like this would be a fun, what's it called? Like downtime activity if we ever escape from the shard.
Yeah, something to just kind of
We
do
could, like,
on the side. Yeah.
And then Locke would also make sure to get one for, I'm always blanking on the name, but for Thea's
Eloise.
character too.
Eloise.
Yeah, Eloise. So it's a bonding, and probably one for the captain too. So it's a bonding activity for all the for the ship
Perfect. Yeah, love it.
knitting. What is there of gambling games
Ooh.
or like illegal fight clubs in this part, or like
So
what's
many.
like the most dangerous,
Fight clubs.
or like gladiator rings, or I don't know. Like
Okay, so you want to like?
robot-
Wow.
I mean, there's like
I
plenty
don't
of
know.
like bare knuckle like fighting rings, like fight pits against like different creatures, and Like there's a lot of stuff like that in crypt market in general, honestly, because it's kind of one of like the I don't think it's one of the primary businesses of the Jack, honestly. He has all the crowning anima stuff, but like as your day to day, paying the bills, internal stuff, because usually like the Jack stuff is mostly exporting, right, off shard. But he also has a lot of internal businesses for on shard as well. So, which is a lot of it is going to be a lot of like pretty like the stuff you mentioned, like a lot of the gambling places and a lot of like fight clubs and of that nature. And there's also like some like races and whatnot that are very dangerous, very similar to like the the chasm run you guys did. It's like that, but like there's they have like tunnels and stuff that they send you down into and whatnot. But yeah, so what kind of thing do you want to look for first, I guess is the question.
And the other question is, are there like places where people fight robots? Because I feel like if
Yes.
Locke knows about that, he would like to try to help Bungie. He would like to enter it so that Bungie can try to free some of these robots while he distracts them. I don't know if Bungie would want to do that, but
so yeah, I mean, I don't know if the robots would be enslaved here like they are from where I came from.
There are some that are put into like fight pits and stuff, which I guess you could count as enslaved, right? In terms of like gladiator sports, like if you count the lions and rhinoceroses or whatever in like the Colosseum as being enslaved, then yeah, but I don't know if Bungie would relate
do they have
to them.
A choice?
They don't have a choice. Yeah, no, I mean, but they're caged animals that have to fight for a living.
They're animals though, not. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're not like okay. I didn't know if there's like humanoid robots who were like fighting, or they were like battle bots equivalent.
No. In the general rule, you're not gonna see very many synthetics roaming about of their own free will, and there aren't really many synthetics in general on this shard in particular. It seems that like they don't come here, or this isn't a place that kind of like didn't really make sense, I guess, probably, right? Each shard kind of develops differently, and they focus on their animal stuff and like their their spiritual stuff, and they didn't really have a need for it. They have beast of burden and whatnot, through the Karami, so like it didn't seem to be a natural part of their ecosystem, right? And there's occasional like visitors, that bring their synthetics with them, but like it's pretty rare, I would say. And you don't, there isn't any established fighting rings that uses them, because usually they're going to be too expensive in order to like risk on something so, minor.
I didn't know if there was like some sort of underground type thing that we could like break free or something like that. I don't know. I guess the Karami, but
yeah, I don't know if Bungie relates to them or not. Probably doesn't want to be like tied to them. It's like that's kind of like a very distinct difference, right?
I was just trying to think of what Bungie's goals are. One of them is trying to be a better author or whatever such. But I was thinking, is there a bookstore around? But then again, a library. But that's probably. I'm just trying to think. Would Crypt Market have stuff like that? Books. I mean,
you can go uptown. You can go uptown. Honestly, it's not like
uptown.
Yeah, I mean, you can go uptown. I mean, like not a big deal. I mean, people do all the time.
Okay.
Like you can get on the tram and you can go uptown. Like it's not like they're gonna stop you and like be like, hey, you can't cross the border. Nah, not really. Like.
Oh, I see.
There's like a big like bridge thing that spans like a little bit of chasm, but like it's highly trafficked and it's totally fine to cross throughout the day. At nighttime, like after hours, they usually shut it down. But it's still like mid-evening here, so it's fine. You're good until midnight basically. So yeah, you can go up to Twilight Harbor if you want to. The more ritzy part of town, the more educated people. All right.
Yeah, we can do that.
I mean, just looking at the time, and I don't know if we have. I can't think of what we would do, but we could go.
We could find a live reading.
You can do
A live reading.
You can make the DM
poetry,
make up a
slam
whole book.
poetry going on.
Slam poetry. There we go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe we should
to do. But...
just maybe we should call it quits for the night. I don't know, because we're kind of trying to. I don't want to force it, you know.
Yeah, that's fine. We can call it quit early too. That's totally fine. We did lose a second player, so I mean,
Yeah,
it's totally acceptable. I think to like go ahead and call it quits for the night. So then we can do a little bit of post game stuff afterwards, just real quick. But yeah, so I think we're going to leave it for tonight, and then we'll be back then in 2 weeks from today. We will hopefully resume the regular session stuff, and then you guys can get into other free run activities at a later date, right? So you guys can also like be thinking of stuff you want to do in the future, take notes of that. But yeah, that'll be it for tonight. Yeah,